everyone, welcome back to my art room. Now today I've decided that we're going to make a picture frame. This is the picture frame here that I've made. It's an old picture of my daughter from a few years back, but I really like it. She's wearing a Batman costume, and yeah, it's a nice picture to have in a frame. Now I thought it would be nice to make frames because you could maybe put someone that you're really missing in the frame. It could be grandparents, it could be aunties and uncles, it could be cousins, someone that you really miss and love and you'd like to have them maybe beside your bed or in your house somewhere, in the kitchen, wherever you decide. But yeah, so I asked you last week to collect some corrugated card. This is the corrugated card I said. I'm going to go through the proper measurements. I'll go through them with you, but I'll actually write them down in the assignment. So you'll have everything there, materials that you need, the proper measurements. So that's 13 by 13 centimeters square. Now you need to cut two of those, like so, one a little bit smaller so it just fits in behind like so. You can actually get your tape to stick onto it, so it's going to be something like that. Now I'll have a little base, a little back, so it can actually sit upright. I'll show you properly later on, but yeah, it's really nice project to do. A little bit time consuming, but very straightforward, very easy to make, and the results are lovely. You know, you get a really nice picture frame from it. Okay, I'll go through the video. I'll stick the video up so you can see from above, and I'll go through all of the steps with you, and we'll make this together. Okay. Hi everyone. Right, I'm going to try and go quickly through this. So you've cut your 13 by 13 centimeters square, or 5 inches, whatever way works better for you. Now what you're going to do is you're going to draw 1 inch in the whole way round. So use your measurements. 1 inch there, 1 inch there. Same again. 1 inch in, 1 inch in. So you want a 1 inch centimeter, or 1 inch square the whole way around. Inch, and then you join in your lines. So you've created a nice 1 inch border the whole way around your picture frame. Remember to cut a smaller piece of card along with that to go for the back of your frame, but we're going to focus on the front of the frame. So once you've done that, then you're going to cut out the square in the center like so. If you're finding it hard with the scissors, ask a parent or ask somebody at home to help cut that out for you. I pierced the scissors through the center of the card and cut like that through and got around the edge, so it's a little bit rough around the edges, but that's okay. That doesn't matter because we're going to cover it with tissue paper and PVA glue. Now I have PVA glue here to use to stick around my frame, but if you don't have PVA glue, you can use wallpaper paste, or you can also use some flour and water. That will use as well. That would do just as good a job. So I've started this one here. As you can see, the texture, building it up. So what we do is, I'll get another paintbrush. We get a paintbrush, and what we're going to do is pour some PVA in a container, and you want to paint the PVA or whatever you're using to stick down the tissue paper. You're going to pour that all across with your paintbrush, and then you're going to use the paper towel. I've got paper towels here. This is what I'm using, but you could use tissue paper if you want, but I'm using the kitchen roll. And then with the glue that you've stuck on your, just stick that down. Make sure that you have it totally covered with water. You want it to be wet. You want to get rid of all that dry and make sure that the whole thing is stuck down like so. And you just do that the whole way across your picture frame. Now your hands are going to get a little bit sticky, but don't worry, that's fine. Look at the colour of my hands. I was painting the frame earlier, but that's okay. Now cover the whole frame in kitchen roll or tissue paper or whatever you're using. So once you've done that, you need to let it dry overnight. That's the best way. If you don't let it dry overnight, it mightn't be as dry as you think, and then whenever you start to apply colour, the colour won't work as well as what it would do if it's dry. So that's what you're kind of looking for, completely covered with tissue paper and PVA or whatever you're using, wallpaper paste or your flour and water. Once you've done that, then what you're going to do is you've got your frame. You're going to start colouring your base colour, but before you pick your base colour, I chose my wrapping paper for the images that I stuck onto my picture frame. Now I picked out a colour that would work well for a base colour. So if you're using your comic books, or if you're using a magazine or a newspaper for your images, try and think about what colour will work best for your base colour. So I chose this turquoise colour as well as a bright aqua green. So I chose that. Now that's an acrylic that I've used, but you could use poster paint, you could use inks, or if you don't have inks or poster paints, you might want to use marker. You might want to use another colour for the base colour. So think about what you're going to do, and then you apply your colour. If you don't want to apply colour, if you want to leave it, you could paint it white, or you might even want to just start sticking the images to your frame. Now you can hear how hard that is. It's actually given a bit of stability there. It's really nice and rigid. So you paint on your base colour. So once you've that completely painted, just going to try and do this quickly. So once you've done that, then you're going to think about, right, what images am I going to put onto my picture frame? How will I decorate it? So I've got my wallpaper, well, it's wrapping paper here. Right, I'm just going to finish that off very quickly. So I've got my wrapping paper here, and I'm going to pick up some lovely images from that. So I'm going to leave that to dry. Now don't be worrying too much about painting the back of it. You can paint around the edges, make sure you get around the edges because you're going to see them, but you're not going to see the back, because if you think about it, your picture is going to be in the frame and you're going to have a backing up on that. So think about your images. So I have my wrapping paper here somewhere. Yeah, I've got my wrapping paper here. I've cut a little bit out. Now I'm going to start to think about the shapes that are in it. So I'm going to go around these lovely little flowers, and I'm going to start to cut out the flowers. Now the neater you have them cut out, the nicer it may look. Or if you want to rip them out, you can rip them out. But you see the way I'm cutting that? I'm actually moving the image, and I'm not really moving the scissors, well, except just to cut the blades, to move the blades closer together. But please be careful when you're cutting out images. So there's got a little bit of paint on it, but that's not too bad. Okay, so think about the shapes and the images that you're going to use. Once you've them cut out, and once your frame has dried, you can actually dry the paint with the hairdryer if you want it to be a little bit quicker. But think about your arrangement, how you're going to put your images onto your frame. So with the glue, with the PVA glue, I'm going to stick this down onto my frame. Maybe put it here, quite nice. Say the little bird. So look, stick them on and just twist that round if you want it to be at the edge. So there we go, I've stuck it down. Okay, so you can actually see where I have stuck down my images and how it looks. Now at the end, once you've done that, you can actually varnish it if you want for it to last longer, or you could add PVA glue over that. That'll give it a nice shine, but I'm going to leave it now for the minute because I might add more pieces to it. But we're going to work on the back now. So that little piece of card I asked you to get earlier, whenever you cut out the front, make sure it's a little bit smaller than the frame itself. So I'm going to maybe cut it a little bit smaller. And once you've done that, then you want to think of your stand. So is that going to be smaller? Just maybe turn that around so you can see it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, you can see the background or the front. So I want my stand. So this is going to be my stand. And I'm going to put that at an angle as well. So you want a nice triangle for your stand. And then you want a little bit of duct tape, or if you don't have duct tape, you can use masking tape, or you can use sellotape. I use duct tape because it's a little bit sturdier, but it's up to you what. And then try and get it in the center. You can measure it out if you want. I'm just going to do it by eye, and then stick it down when it's at the side, and then you can fold it up like that. So there, and then you can see that will make it stand. That. There we go. There's my stand. So then you can paint that with your background color so they'll match. So you can paint that, and then once you've that painted, this is my background. I've done that before. You can add your image. So stick a little bit of tape either side to stick your image on, and then with your frame, the front of your frame, put it down and put that down on top. Make sure you have it upright, and then stick it with a little bit of masking tape or a little bit of duct tape, whatever you think. Stick it over here as well, and another bit just to make sure it's going to stick for me, and voila, that's my frame. Alright, so that's how you make your picture frame. I hope you enjoyed making it. Remember, get creative with the images that you're going to put onto your picture frame. Think about the colour, what makes it stand out. Think about the way that you lay out your images. Get creative. I'd love to see what you do. So whenever you get them done, please photograph them and send me in your images, because I really look forward to seeing your images whenever you finish the project. Okay, thanks, bye.